Hello and welcome to Marvel Movie Breakdown, Character Breakdown here on Marvel Movie Fan. In these videos we cover the characters from the MCU and other Marvel properties. In this series we're going to go over the history of Captain America and Iron Man in a segment that's going to be called Preparing for Civil War. In this video we're going to cover Captain America from the MCU, because it's only right that we cover him first. Captain America did not grow up as a person with great abilities. Before he became Captain America, he was a scrawny boy from Brooklyn named Steve Rogers. While growing up, both of his parents passed away. His father, Joe Rogers, died from mustard gas in World War I, thus was awarded a Purple Heart. Before his mother passed away from tuberculosis, she told Steve that he was going to have to work hard to reach his dreams in becoming a soldier like his father. She also told him to use his head. Steve knew that his mother believed in him. After the passing of his mother in Hell's Kitchen, Manhattan, Steve lived in an orphanage. One day when fighting bullies in the alley, he met James Buchanan Barnes, also known as Bucky, for the first time. Bucky helped Steve fend off the bullies. The two friends grew up and attended college together. During art class they heard the news that Pearl Harbor was bombed. From that moment they both decided that they would enlist. Knowing that Steve would not pass the physical exam at his current condition, Bucky agreed to train Steve. Even after all the training, Steve still failed the physical while Bucky passed. Even with Bucky gone, Steve continued his attempts to join the army, even if it meant illegally lying on his registration forms. In less than a year, Bucky and Steve met up again. While out on a double date at the World Exposition of Tomorrow, Steve attempts once again to enlist. At this time, Steve says goodbye to Bucky, who is being deployed very soon. It was at the expo where he met Dr. Abraham Erskine, the creator of the Super Soldier Serum. After a conversation with Dr. Erskine, Steve was allowed to join the army. During his training, he met a British intelligence officer named Peggy Carter. After a week, despite popular opinion, Steve was chosen to be the first super soldier in the program called Project Rebirth. On the way to the lab, Steve and Peggy learned more about each other. At the lab, and with the help of Howard Stark, Iron Man's father, Dr. Erskine successfully changed Steve into a super soldier. Immediately after the procedure, Dr. Erskine was killed by an undercover Hydra agent. Since Dr. Erskine never recorded his work and the last vial of the formula was destroyed while trying to capture the Hydra agent, the super soldier serum died with Dr. Erskine. This means that Steve Rogers is the only successful super soldier. Before his death, Dr. Erskine expressed that he believed in Steve. After the death of Dr. Erskine, the army decided to give up on Project Rebirth. With Steve having nothing to do, Senator Brandt convinced Steve to sell war bonds to help pay for the war. Steve performed on stage and was given the name Captain America. Steve continued to perform on stage and in films for a while, but things changed after he found out that Bucky was either captured or killed by Hydra. Captain America, with the aid of Agent Carter and Howard Stark, decided to rescue the prisoners from one of the Hydra bases. Captain America succeeded to rescue the prisoners, which included Bucky, who was being experimented on during that time. Among the prisoners were a group of people who would go on to become the Howling Commandos. There, Captain America saw a map which had the location of Hydra bases. On his way out of the base with Bucky, he met Johann Schmidt, aka Red Skull, for the first time. Captain America failed to capture Red Skull during that time. Later, Captain America, along with the Howling Commandos and Bucky, went on to do many more missions. During this time, a relationship began to develop between Peggy and Steve. Captain America and his group succeeded in all their missions until one mission didn't go exactly as planned. Even though they succeeded in their mission, which was capturing Arnim Zola, it came with a price. Steve lost his childhood friend that day. He saw Bucky fall off the side of a cliff of a moving train. He blamed himself for not being able to save Bucky. This blame and guilt could have possibly consumed him if it were not for Peggy. After capturing Zola, Colonel Chester Phillips was able to get the location of Red Skull's main base from Zola. Soon after, Captain America, Peggy, Colonel Phillips, the Howling Commandos, and a small group of soldiers attacked Red Skull's base. Red Skull attempted to escape with the Tesseract on a plane filled with bombs aimed for major cities. With the help of Peggy Carter and Colonel Phillips, Captain America was able to get on the plane. Before jumping on the plane, Peggy kissed Steve for the first and last time. During his fight with Red Skull on the plane, Red Skull grabbed the Tesseract and was either disintegrated or teleported. This ended the fight and the Tesseract fell into the ocean. Captain America now had to worry about the plane. The only way to stop the plane from bombing the cities was to crash it into the ocean with him inside. Knowing this, before crashing into the ocean, he had one last emotional conversation with Peggy. Captain America decided to sacrifice himself in order to save the cities. After about 70 years, a Russian oil team finds the plane, not knowing that Captain America is inside. The US military decides to investigate and find Captain America. S.H.I.E.L.D. then thaws him out and finds out that he is still alive. This last sentence is revealed in the Avengers movie. Captain America finally wakes up and runs out of where he was to find that he is in a whole new world. Nick Fury reveals that Captain America has been frozen for almost 70 years. Very little time has passed since Captain America woke up. While in the gym reflecting on his past, Nick Fury came to him with a mission to get the Tesseract back from Thor's brother Loki. For those who don't know, Thor is a Norse god, and Loki got the Tesseract by stealing it from S.H.I.E.L.D. After accepting the mission, Captain America took a jet to the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier where he met Phil Coulson. After arriving at the helicarrier, Captain America met Natasha Romanoff aka Black Widow and Dr. Bruce Banner aka Hulk for the first time. Soon after, S.H.I.E.L.D. found Loki in Stuttgart, Germany. Captain America went to Germany to confront Loki. During his fight with Loki, Tony Stark aka Iron Man joined the fight and helped capture Loki. On the way to take Loki to the helicarrier, Captain America and Iron Man have a short conversation which causes slight tension between the two. During this time, Thor arrives and takes Loki. Captain America and Iron Man quickly disagree on how to get Loki back, when Iron Man decides to take action without a plan. After pursuing Iron Man, Captain America breaks up the fight between Iron Man and Thor. Soon after, they bring Loki to the helicarrier. There, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, and Dr. Banner put their information together to reveal that Loki wants to use the Tesseract to open a portal. This portal will bring an army of alien, the Chitauri, to invade and conquer the Earth. For Loki to do this, he would need a higher energy density power source. Tony and Banner quickly get to work on studying Loki's scepter and locating the Tesseract. Steve and Tony get into an argument after Tony shocks Banner out of curiosity. Steve believes that Tony should be more serious about what he is doing, and Tony believes that being too serious is not good. There, Tony explains on how he is multitasking and how he is obtaining S.H.I.E.L.D. secrets. Because Tony is hacking into S.H.I.E.L.D. files, Steve expresses distrust in Tony. Steve states that Loki wants them to lose focus, and also that they should follow orders. Tony then states that he is not good at following orders. Tony goes on to share that the reason S.H.I.E.L.D. is going after the Tesseract is suspicious. This causes Steve to have doubts about S.H.I.E.L.D. He decides to look around the helicarrier and finds proof that S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to make a weapon by using the Tesseract. He confronts Nick Fury about this, but before Nick Fury can deny this, Tony shows more evidence to confirm Steve's suspicion. This snowballs into an argument between Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Nick Fury, and Bruce Banner. Steve and Tony finally express their dislike for each other. Steve believes that Tony is a self-centered man who does not know what it means to be a real hero. Tony believes the only reason why Steve is special is because of the serum. Before this argument turns into a fight, the helicarrier is attacked. Captain America and Iron Man are forced to work together to stabilize the helicarrier before it crashes. They are successful in helping each other to save the helicarrier, but while they are taking care of this, Loki kills Coulson and escapes. After the helicarrier is secure, Fury talks to both Captain America and Iron Man. Fury admits to them that S.H.I.E.L.D. was building an arsenal, but Fury also shares to Steve about the Avengers Initiative. Fury wanted to build a team of extraordinary people to fight against extraordinary situations. After this, Steve and Tony talk about Coulson's death. Tony believes that Coulson should not have tried to take on Loki, while Steve believes that Coulson had no choice but to take on Loki. Steve views Coulson as a soldier, while Tony does not view Coulson and himself as soldiers. Even though they disagree on views, they agree to end the fight with Loki. At that moment, they put their differences aside to build a friendship. Tony realizes that Loki is planning to open the portal at Stark Tower. Captain America gets Black Widow and Clint Barton aka Hawkeye. This is the first time he meets Hawkeye, and because Black Widow trusts Hawkeye, Captain America does not doubt him. Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye head straight to Stark Tower in a S.H.I.E.L.D. jet. After having their jet shot down by Loki, they find people in danger. Captain America gets the police to set up a perimeter to help get the people to safety, because Loki opened the portal and had the Chitauri attack New York. After this, he joins Black Widow and Hawkeye to defend the streets against the aliens. Shortly after, Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man join Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. This makes the first time they stand together as a team known as the Avengers. Iron Man trusts Captain America to come up with a strategy, and Captain America leads the team, fully trusting everyone. After hearing that a nuclear missile is heading to New York, Iron Man is ready to sacrifice himself to save the city. Iron Man successfully guides the nuke through the portal and saves everyone. This shows Captain America that Iron Man is a true hero. Finally, the whole team celebrates by eating shawarmas. Between the time of the Avengers and Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America helped stop the Zodiac virus from being released into the wrong hands. During this mission, he worked with Black Widow and Brock Rumlow. Because S.H.I.E.L.D. lied about destroying it, Captain America continues to doubt S.H.I.E.L.D. Steve meets Sam Wilson and a bond is immediately formed. During their conversation, Captain America gets a mission. He goes on the mission with Black Widow, Rumlow, and other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. During this rescue mission, Black Widow goes off on her own secret mission, which causes them to lose George's Batroc. Because of this, Steve goes on to talk to Fury about how trust is needed for missions. Fury trusts Steve enough to show him Project Insight, the next generation of helicarriers. Fury explains that the new helicarriers will neutralize threats before they happen. Steve states that what S.H.I.E.L.D. is doing is creating fear, not freedom. In this small argument, Steve shows that freedom is a very important right that everyone should have. Steve goes to the Smithsonian to reflect on his past. There he thinks about Bucky and Peggy. He then visits Peggy and expresses his doubts about what he is doing with his life. Half the reason he stays in S.H.I.E.L.D. is because Peggy helped found it. Sadly, Peggy is suffering from short-term memory loss. Steve then talks to Sam and finds out that he does not know what will make him happy. Steve goes home and runs into his neighbor Kate. She talks to Steve about her aunt, saying that her aunt is kind of an insomniac. Steve is unaware that Kate is really Sharon Carter, aka Agent 13. She's most likely the niece of Peggy, but this has not been confirmed in the movies or the comic books that are connected to the movies. During the conversation, Steve does express a little attraction toward Kate. After the conversation, Steve finds Fury in his apartment. Fury reveals that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been compromised and not to trust anyone. Then he gets shot. Fury gives Steve a flash drive. Kate comes into Steve's apartment and reveals that she is Agent 13. As Agent 13 tries to get help for Fury, Steve pursues the shooter. Because the shooter is highly skilled, he manages to get away. During Fury's surgery, Steve describes the shooter to Natasha. Fury dies in front of Steve, Natasha, and Maria Hill. Hill is a high-ranking officer for S.H.I.E.L.D. Shortly after, Rumlow states that Steve has to return to S.H.I.E.L.D. Before going, Steve hides the flash drive in a vending machine. When Steve is at S.H.I.E.L.D., he meets Alexander Pierce for the first time. Pierce is one of the members of the World Security Council, which is in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. Pierce called Steve in to find out what Steve knows about Fury's death. Steve told Pierce some information, but he didn't reveal everything. On his way out, Steve gets into a fight with some S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, including Rumlow, who are trying to capture him. Steve narrowly escapes and goes into hiding. When going back to recover the flash drive, he finds that Natasha is there waiting for him. She reveals that the Winter Soldier killed Fury and gives back the flash drive she got from the vending machine. After getting some information from the flash drive, they find that they have to go to an army base in New Jersey, the same base where Steve trained. There they find a secret room in an old secret S.H.I.E.L.D. base. Here they find out that Zola was recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. and downloaded his mind into a huge computer. He also revealed that Hydra secretly embedded itself into S.H.I.E.L.D. As a side note, it is hinted that Hydra used the Winter Soldier to kill Tony's parents. Zola goes on to say that Hydra is going to use Project Insight to achieve their goals. Zola revealed this information to stall and blow up Steve and Natasha. They barely escape the attack with their lives. While hiding at Sam's house, Steve, Natasha, and Sam make plans to get information from Jasper Sitwell, a high-ranking agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and get Sam his wings back. Sam was part of a two-man group who used mechanical wings for military missions. They successfully get the information from Sitwell that Hydra is going to use Project Insight to kill all threats and potential threats to Hydra. Shortly after, they are attacked by the Winter Soldier and it is revealed that Bucky is the Winter Soldier. Right after, Steve, Natasha, and Sam are arrested by S.H.I.E.L.D., but escape with the help from Hill. Hill takes them to a secret location where they find out that Fury is still alive. There they make a plan to take down Hydra and disband S.H.I.E.L.D. Captain America and his team go to S.H.I.E.L.D. and reveal that Hydra has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. Captain America and Falcon, which is Sam Wilson, need to place one chip into each of the 3 new helicarriers in order to stop Hydra. While trying to put in the last chip, Captain America confronts the Winter Soldier. Captain America gets the last chip in, and the helicarriers shoot down each other with Captain America and the Winter Soldier still on board. The Winter Soldier gets stuck under some rubble while the helicarrier is going down, and Captain America helps free his friend. The Winter Soldier is freed and starts to attack Captain America. Steve refuses to fight his friend. Bucky is hesitant to kill Steve with a final blow. During this time, a piece of the helicarrier falls and causes the floor to break, and Steve falls off into the ocean below. Bucky saves his friend and disappears. Steve wakes up in the hospital with Sam at his side. After leaving the hospital, Steve and Sam go visit Fury's fake grave, and Natasha hands Steve information about Bucky. Steve and Sam then start their search for Bucky. Captain America, along with the other Avengers, fought Baron von Strucker and his Hydra forces to get the scepter back. The scepter was once Loki's from the first Avengers movie, and contains a lot of power similar to the power of the Tesseract. The Avengers shortly confront Pietro and Wanda Maximoff, who are twins and the only ones to survive Hydra's scepter experiments, which granted them powers. The Maximoff twins let Iron Man take the scepter. When getting back to Avengers Tower, Hill gives Captain America information on the Maximoff twins, and he understands why they volunteered to be experimented on. The Avengers celebrate their victory with a party. At the party, Sam and Steve are talking, and Sam hints that he is still searching for Bucky. After the party, the Avengers, along with Hill and a scientist named Helen Cho, are relaxing. Some of them take turns to try to lift Thor's hammer Mjolnir. Out of Clint, Tony, James Rupert Rhodey Rhodes, Tony's best friend aka War Machine, Banner, and Steve was the only one to even budget. A few seconds later, Ultron reveals himself. The Avengers are forced to defend themselves against Ultron. Ultron manages to obtain the scepter before leaving. After the Avengers drive Ultron away, Tony and Bruce admit to creating Ultron from the scepter. The team is angry with Tony because he and Bruce kept this a secret. Tony defends himself by saying that the Avengers can handle small threats, but they need to be prepared for the next alien invasion. Steve reminds Tony that they are a team, and win or lose, they do everything together. The Avengers find Ultron with the Maximoff twins and fight them. During this fight, Wanda shows the Avengers their fears. Steve sees himself with Peggy at a party, then everyone in the dream disappears and reappears again. This shows that Steve cannot have the life he wanted with Peggy, and he is a man outside of his own time. The Avengers suffer defeat against Ultron and the Maximoff twins. The Avengers go to a secret location where they can find a way to stop Ultron. There they meet Clint's secret family. Also, Steve and Tony have a talk with each other. Steve states that everyone on the team keeps secrets. This is shown by Tony and Banner secretly building Ultron, Natasha being a spy with many secrets, Clint having a secret family, and Thor leaving without telling anyone where he is going. Steve believes that a team should trust each other. Tony shares that he cannot completely trust Steve because he doesn't have a dark side. Steve replies that Tony hasn't seen it yet. Steve and Tony argue about Tony creating Ultron. Tony says that he wanted to create Ultron to bring peace. Steve states, every time someone tries to win a war before it even starts, innocent people die. Every time. Their argument is interrupted by Clint's wife. Fury comes to the Barton home, and they all figure out Ultron's plan. Ultron is trying to build himself the ultimate body and destroy the world. The Avengers find Ultron and the new body. Captain America fights Ultron while Black Widow and Hawkeye recover the new body. Captain America then gets help from the Maximoff twins, but Ultron gets away. Wanda finds out that Tony is going to be in possession of the new body and warns Captain America that Tony cannot be trusted with it. Steve finds Tony trying to complete the new body without informing the rest of the team. Pietro disconnects the power and a fight breaks out between Captain America and Iron Man. This fight is interrupted by Thor, who comes in and supplies the rest of the energy that is needed to complete the new body. The new body comes to life and it becomes the Avengers' ally known as the Vision. The team questions if the Vision can be trusted, and after the Vision picks up Mjolnir, they trust him. The Avengers are once again forced to trust each other in order to fight Ultron. Now, with a bigger team, the Avengers go to Sokovia and fight Ultron. With Captain America leading, they defeat Ultron once and for all, but not without many casualties. A few months later, some of the Avengers go their separate ways after spending some time together. Tony is considering not being Iron Man. Captain America and Black Widow are now in charge of the new team of Avengers. Captain America and Falcon find a lead on Bucky and head to Lagos, Nigeria. There they find that the information was not about Bucky, but about Rumlow, now called Crossbones. This is where Captain America's story ends for now. The Ant-Man post-credit scene is not included because it is most likely a clip from the Civil War movie. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If I missed an important fact that you would like to add, or if you have any questions, please leave a comment or send me a tweet at MarvelMovieFan0. If you'd like to see some more videos like this, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And don't forget to check out these other videos or my other channel about Japan. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!